Welcome back to a cast, a game of Age of Empires 4, the Knights of Cross and Rose DLC. Today, I have the pleasure of bringing to you one of our newest civilizations, the Knights Templar, here on the south side. GIF Music today is going to be playing them in the color teal. 2 shades of blue here today. And GIF is going to be playing against one of the best players there is in the world. It is going to be Vortex, who is going to be playing as one of the older DLCs, the Malians. So the Malians, known for their cow boom, some call it a muvu, have a very good economy, especially if they get up and rolling. So I'll be anxious to see this game. If that actually gets into play, of course, there could be plenty of feudal action. We don't know if it'll happen, but if we see like a full cow boom go on, maybe like a full cow boom, double, like 2 to 3 fully, pit mined up golds, how's that eco going to compare against the Knights Templar, considering what perhaps they'll get up as far as pilgrims go? But I like what we're seeing already. Look at this. We've got a Dark Age rush coming out from GIF Music. That's right, folks. It's going to be some Dark Age spears on the way from the Knights Templar, and it should be exciting. Now, they tend to have an extended first age at time, depending on how many villagers you age up with. But it's going to be fun to see. Some spearmen going to be on the way. There's no other unique units really going on in this first age. Now, you don't have to build a lumber camp, so you can get a lot more wood. Certainly helps you with this endeavor. But here comes that spearman. We will follow him on his journey across the field. Okay, let's get rid of all our fancy cinematics. There we go. So the spearman moves across the field. You might note on the mini-map, we do have 2 deer patches for Vortex have spawned right by each other. Look at this. Pretty lucky for this guy. Well, good or bad. Depends if it gets cut off. Where with GIF, you can see deer on the other side, a little more standard to what you might expect for something like this. And we are on Dry Arabia, one of the most standard maps in Age of Empires 4. Now, sound off. If you've been playing the Knights Templar, what is your deadly lethal age up combination right now? Which commandery options are you choosing? I've been using a little bit of everything and sometimes dependent on the matchup. But boy, I really like aging up to age 2 with the Hospitaller, which gives your villagers more HP and also gives you the Hospitaller Knight, which can heal, which I really like for running in and raiding against boomy opponents. And then I like going up to age 3 with the Genoese crossbow, getting the extra gold for pilgrims. And then I like capping it off going to age 4. I've been actually trying something new. I've been going for the Slakta Cavalry. Instead of going for the Teutonic Knights, which I do enjoy so much. But look at this here. We got Pitmine under siege already here at the beginning stages of the game. Now, I'd be curious to see if we watch GIF Music if he does this against many other components, or opponents, not components. But against the Malians, this is a nice move. Bringing out, 3, 4, continue to make spear in 5, 6 spears. He's bringing villagers forward as well. But Vortex, I feel like, is answering this nicely. He's building a tower, and that tower should go up before these spearmen are able to kill anything. So, what GIF is doing here, though, is idling 5 villagers, forcing him to drop an outpost, a total outpost in the case of the Malians. But we see GIF bringing across 3 villagers of his own, investing in a lot of spearmen right now. So, we'll kind of see how this shakes out. The Manzikori age up is on the way, so he's almost in the next age. Really, this rush has ultimately drawn a little idle time, but not done really a whole lot. We didn't see anything go down, and I imagine we'll see an archery range dropped very quickly, but Vortex currently doesn't have the wood for it since he built a tower there. So we are, in fact, going to see a house burning, and GIF is going to answer this with his own tower, kind of building it on the back side of the pit mine. So this is getting interesting very, very quickly against the Malians. Is this going to reign supreme? Now, this spear rush, nothing special really for the Knights Templar. Any civ can honestly do this, but we'll see if he's able to get it today up against Vortex. Bold move against Vortex, honestly. Bold move. Putting a lot of villagers onto the wood line. You can check the villager split right now. 10 villagers on wood, 10 on food. GIF aging up, and oh look, he's following the FitzBro build order. He's aging up with the Knights Templar. Get his additional HP, additional healing, and he'll unlock these Hospitaller Knights. They'll show up right here in the barracks. Costs food and gold. What's he have garrison right now? Is that a scout or a villager? I don't know why it's not showing me. Maybe I can't see it? Really strange. I guess you can't see it from the observer. Okay. Now, some value added here. 1, 2, 3 houses have been burnt down. He does have his outpost. A little bit of stone. Where did he get stone? Vortex has a little stone. Where the heck did he get... Oh, I'm sorry. Vortex is up here. Okay. Yep, that'd be why. Okay, and he's using the Monza Quarry there. So he's trying to get the arrow slits here. Needs 50 stone. 50 stone for arrow slits. Are we going to have any traders coming out? The Knights Templar are on the way with the Hospitality Knights. Here they go. Currently being trained for some raiding. So these guys can go in, do a little bit of raiding. They have 2 melee, 1 ranged armor. Pretty speedy, 1.19. And then they can heal their fellow units. So you can kind of go for a raid, pull back, heal up, go in for another raid. Pretty nice. But Jiff Music, able to take out 4 houses. Now working on that pit mine. We do see arrow slits being researched. Not quite done yet. Will he be able to kill this pit mine before those arrow slits come up and kill his spearmen? We will see. First tier of pilgrim has been researched. So right now he's got these pilgrims heading to the sacred site. They'll be bringing in 130 gold. So they must be going to the far sacred site, I would imagine. It looks like arrow slits did come in. He recognized that and he pulled his spearmen back inside the tower. So he actually can sit there and shoot at this and probably kill it over time. We'll see if that's what ends up happening. Vortex with a lot of villagers on wood still. We do see the first archery range. His tower also cuts off, look at this, double deer patches. This is honestly maybe the biggest thing about this. I mean, this is annoying with the pit mine, but getting cut off from all of this food, if this draws out, can be really fatal. See him dropping down stables, those cavern toss a lot of food. He's got some sheep under the TC, but not a ton of it. He was able to expand to the front for gold vein. Needs to drop down another pit mine there for that passive gold generation. Okay, Jiff Music's gonna be running in. There's really no units on the field to stop this. Well, let me take that back. There's no units in this vicinity to really stop this. So 5, I guess 5 spearmen or so, or archers, but that's not a whole lot. So force them off that gold. Pit mine doesn't go up. He built all those houses, but built the pit mine at the end, and it did not go up. Maybe a slight misplay in that regard, but he also maybe needed the housing considering he lost a few, so it is what it is. And now we see these Hospitality Knights paired with some archers running around. And we're going to see another barracks drop down for the Malians. We do see some Vanguard scouts. They're called Vanguard scouts. I don't even know that's what they're called. And he goes out and he's probably going to be getting pro scouts, I imagine, to try to steal these deer. Seems to be what I expect to happen. And look at this, Jiff already building battering ram. Just a super unrelenting Knights Templar action. He has been fighting this out since the Dark Age. You do see the pit mines on fire. Going to go down soon. That's going to drop down that passive gold generation of Vortex. He's wrapping these warrior scouts around. He's going to almost get out of there. Okay, battering ram's almost finished. We do see survival techniques. So that's for gathering from deer. Now hold on a second. Okay, he already got, okay, he got pro scouts. So here comes these warrior scouts. He's going to have to micro them around. But that's just his food situation. Speaking of which, he is out of food under his TC right now. You see him going out for the berries. Also researching wheelbarrow at this moment. Jiff Music has not gone for the tier 2 sanctuary. Starting to add in a few farms. A nice little touch. Just go for a gradual farm transition. Now the thing of it is, these Musafati warriors will counter those Hospitality Knights, but the archers will counter the Musafati. So it's a little song and dance here. But I think Jiff Music, well, yeah, has the military advantage. In fact, has double the military of his opponent at the moment. We see another ram being built, going to threaten this outpost. And the Malians could be in trouble. You can't help but to feel bad when you see Malians with gold spawning way out here, far out to the side. You know, it could have been like back here or something, kind of like his opponent. So it doesn't really help his case, but RNG, that's how it is, just sometimes. His deer also really dropped off or blocked by one tower. There we go. Hospitality Knights chasing the Warrior Scouts. The Warrior Scouts are now slower than ever before when returning with deer on their back. They were nerfed in that case, and as you can see, you can catch up and kill them if you identify where they're coming from. So we see this Warrior Scouts going down. Rams working on the houses on the front line. Vortex could be housed here soon. Each one of these holding 5 population. They are cheaper than your standard house. Yeah, Vortex is going to be in a housing situation. GF Music, Wheelbarrow. I'm sorry, now it's going to be Vortex, Wheelbarrow just finishing. I was seeing if Jiff had any blacksmith. He does have a blacksmith, of course, because he's got siege engineering, but does not have any other upgrades at this moment. Rams working on the houses. Vortex sitting here. He's housed. That means villagers aren't popping out. That means additional military aren't popping out. And these Knights Templar, like we mentioned before, can take fights and then they can back up and heal. So as this mass grows, it is just a death ball that's going to be extremely hard to deal with. Taking out yet another scout. 11 versus 34 military count. Vortex looking like he could be in trouble. His left gold mine has fallen. Tower going down as well. His front gold mine has fallen. He doesn't have anywhere to retreat in the backfield. And Jiff might have just played this super aggressively and pin Vortex down and starve his opponent out. A classic siege. You see a lot of javelins to help target these archers, as well target the Hospitality Knights. Basically, a lot of these. You see them trying to take those shots, but they're doing just fine. Backing up. Ram does go down. Vortex is still housed at the moment. Another archery range being trained for Vortex. That left tower just being a menace. Now he looks like Jiff is going to start pushing up. I'm just watching to make sure there's not some kind of age up sneaking up. Not that I can see. We see upgrades from the blacksmith. So Jiff is going to be pushing this one. And you do see these javelins actually able to do a lot of damage to these Hospitality Knights. Not enough to one-shot them yet. But as these numbers grow, or archers, of course, he can one-shot. Javelins have excellent range. Javelins are one of the best defensive units in the game, just because they can stay close under TC range, pop out from long range, and pick off your archers or some of your other units. So I think he's got a nice move here, continuing to pump the javelins out, having just a few units to guard against any type of cav switch, which I don't think we're going to see. Yeah, it's just barracks and archer ranges for right now. But the javelins, you got to be careful, don't get caught out of position. 1.25 speed, so they do have the same as an archer, but they have a very, very slow fire animation with their javelins. GF Music right now, looking like he's going to position for another attack here. Hostile Knights on the front line. Looks like it's about 2 volleys to kill those at the moment. On the right side, we do see some Sofa marauding around. Maybe going to try to get a raid on Jiff's backline. But there we go. Javelin's actually getting some nice value. He popped inside of the battering ram with his Hospitality Knights, but the archers in grave danger there. He does have Musafati Warriors on the front line. Musafati Warriors counter melee, but he didn't take the engagement right now because he knows the archers are there. And I think Vortex is playing this the best he can at the moment. You can see his military numbers starting to climb. He took some favorable trade. You can actually see, look at this destruction value. But it'll be interesting to see where his economy stands when he's been pushed off gold just for so long. You actually see a food transitioning already happening, which is really sad considering how much deer is just right here on the horizon. That's the only option he has right now. These guys can't siege down that tower. He's not really in a spot right now to add in some rams. Sofa, though, drawing his opponent's attention. Look at this. Jiff pulled all of his units back to essentially chase 2 Sofa. So for Vortex, this is a win. And sometimes this is what you guys can do. If you're feeling like you're in a bad spot, you've been pinned down a lot, maybe your economy's falling behind you, you really can't take these head-on fights, go for some of these back raids. You want to draw your opponent's attention away from your base when you're pinned down, because they're kind of focused on your weak points. And this can help kind of distract and pull their attention to other ways. Now, speaking of distractions, look like Vortex getting raided on the backline, but surprisingly enough, those villagers survive. You actually bring some villagers up front to fight against the spearmen. Ultimately does lose 1 villager, but a small price to be paid. Jiff Music does go up to the castle age, and it is going to be with, what is that, Antioch? Wait, what flag is that? Hold on. Hold on, I don't have them all memorized yet. Let's make sure we got it right. That is going to be the Knights Templar. Let's get those. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Antioch's this one. Angevin Empire, which is fortresses get 30% health. So that's an interesting choice for that. As far as that bonus goes, it is also going to give him the heavy spearmen. I don't see a lot of calves, so I'm not sure that's exactly the unit he needs at this moment. But anywho, that's what he's got. We see another barracks being dropped down. He did pull back all his units at full HP, thanks to those Hospitaller Knights. And Vortex now hanging in his base. We said we might see like a cow boom versus like a full trade from pilgrims, and that hasn't been the case. We don't see cow boom going on from Malians. We don't see a second pilgrim upgrade, at least as of right now. Villagers getting raided by these Sofa. Vortex doing a good job, just really putting these two Sofa to work, doing a lot to his opponent. You can't help it. Also makes him think about possibly making spearmen. I'm not saying he yet. He is making the heavy spearmen. Hospitaller Knights Russian, looking like they're ready to go for attack. The villagers do pull back. Still kind of pinned off gold. He does have this gold, but once this runs out, this left side still got a tower watching it. Could he kill it? Most likely. You see he's going to start making a ram on the back line. We see some of these Hospitaller Knights pushing forward. Looks like it takes about 2 volleys from these to kill one of these Hospitaller Knights. Actually, was it 3? I don't know if that one got it off. Okay, but microing back to the town center. Going to be taking some shots. Villagers, though, under fire. There is one Sofa over there that can help with that, and you see him moving into position. Nice micro from Jiff trying to just shoot and scoot. We do see, I'm sorry, nice micro from Vortex Jiff, though. Staying on him. You do see the Hospitaller Knights chasing him down. Starting to get within range, and now starting to die. That slow animation is what you're going to see now. He's killing a lot of these archers very quickly. But these knights, I feel like, are going to be really painful, especially the veteran now. They have some additional armor now in the castle age. Looking pretty good. We got some heavy spearmen on the front line. On the back, moving towards the farms. Archers on the run. Vortex, his economy just looking to be a little bit in shambles. He's still in the second age. He's not aging up anywhere. And Jiff is just barreling forward. His economy completely untouched. Still, these two Sofa down here doing a little bit of raiding. He's still trying to micro these javelins, trying to stay alive in this game. Going to be a tough one to do so. Our villagers on the run from afar. We do see the Hospitaller Knights continue pushing in. Man, oh man, Vortex in some big trouble. Mill, here in the back line, he is gathering berries from that one. Okay, so he's kind of scouted where these farms are, so he knows where to target. And we do see him running around towards this position. Trying to pick off some of the low HP Hospitaller, it looks like. Also the heavy spearmen. Villagers on the run, and like when they're running, they ain't gathering. That's 10 villagers right now, not being put to work. And so that doesn't really help him out. And on the north side, you do have one scout there, some idle villas. He's going to have to figure out what he wants to do with those villas next. Maybe some farms. Maybe he tries to go for those deer here in a second. Archers taking shots. Javelins very effective at countering them, as you can see here right now. And he takes all of that stuff out. Nice play from him. We got the Sofa raiding on the back line. A few Musafati warriors as well. So Vortex not giving up, continuing to be consistent with the raids. Quite nice. We see Javelins fight under the TC. I think they will hold this fight ultimately, but they might not even. I don't know. There's a lot of these guys. I think he may hold this fight, and this will continue on. A lot of villagers have been running around. Oh no. We've had just a ton of idle villagers up here. Vortex hasn't been even realized. These javelins have required so much attention, so much micro to wipe out that army, that his economy has kind of been an afterthought. And now his economy has kind of been at a standstill with all these villagers at the very north side actually getting killed at the moment. He's bringing his villagers out to kill the rams, so he has ultimately defended against this. We're looking at 38 villagers versus 46. Currently 0 pit mines, no cow boom or anything like that. All of this started when Jif kind of cranked out the spearmen in the early game, and I think adding the tower was the cherry on top for locking in that gold mine. Of course, it helped that his opponent had 2 gold mines towards the forward side, not behind or underneath the TC. We see scouts coming in. Let's try to stop the battering ram. He will ultimately kill it. Do see army count is actually even right now. We have a monastery out on the field. Go start gathering gold. Is your monastery over here? Oh, he's not aged up. No, of course he's not. Of course he's not. Looks like he's got a capture of 3 relics at the moment, or at least on the way. Okay, moves forward. Fighting warriors on the front line. Villagers coming out to gather gold. He needs to find a way to get to the next age, and boy, I don't know if there's time to really get that at the moment. Okay, so building back his pit mine, putting down some houses, and we hear conversion going on. Does he get it? No, he's able to stop the monk from grabbing the relics. So nice play from Vortex. Also going after the pilgrims. So some good raids there. Those will bring in about 130 gold per trip. Lots of farm transition has already been made for Jif Music. Over to the west side, we got some archers kind of patrolling, it looks like. Taking some rams to start taking out the left pit mine. Vortex has just been under siege for so long. Jif doing a good job of protecting these relics. Despite his opponent got 2 already, he's been able to kill one of them, be able to keep him out of the way. Oh man, those archers. The raid you don't see coming. 3 archers. I think maybe these guys were hidden up in the corner earlier. But this is a brutal raid. Vortex really needs the food right now, getting pushed off. Archers harassing, and those farms are exposed. And when you know those exposed farms are out there, you can just keep running horsemen by, and eventually there's going to be no units there in a lot of situations. Takes down the pit mine on the south side. Now he's going to start working on those houses. Professional scout still going on. Vortex not giving up. 22-minute mark. He's still trying to gather up the deer. Although I can't help but to think it might be better just to grab these for now. That'd be too easy. Villagers have finished up with the berries. Looks like they're moving towards either wood, and I think that's really, there's no other food source back here. So that's all it is. Yeah, no walls from Vortex. No walls from either player right now. It's interesting. We got the javelin throwers flanking around the south side, moose fire warriors as well. And he might run into these villagers on the food. So you might wonder, how's he know that? Well, you can look on the fog of war, right? And you see like, oh, there's only 3 deer here. It's a very likely chance it's because they're gathering some of the dead ones nearby. So just a little tip, something you can watch out for. The fog of war. Oh, almost lost a villager there. I think they have like 1 HP, but gonna survive. Javelin moves in position and going to start picking off some villagers. Splitting fire at the moment. Picks off 1, 2, 3, 4 villagers. Just like that. Vortex punching back, but his opponent gonna go for that surround, and he kind of knows it's coming. You know he does. We'll see what happens. Maybe he's just, that's a price he's willing to pay, sacrificing all of these archers. But I'm not so sure. This fighter warrior is fighting villagers on the front line. Archers pulling back, as you can see right now. 1 sacred site being captured by Jif Music at this time. It looks like Vortex is going to be losing pretty much all his units he had here for this attack. Jif Music's economy grows stronger and stronger. I mean, look at the score right now. Just very, very far ahead. We see some priests out here trying to grab some relics. But right now we've got, what, all 5 relics in control of Jif Music. As I mentioned, farms outside of the TC often attract raiders. That's why you see just 1 archer out here going for this raid. Just staying on top of that. Jif Music's just running away. Maybe we could turn and fight these Hospitaller Knights out here at some point. Really doesn't need a force situation. See upgrade for veteran javelin throwers at the moment, so getting that upgrade. Villager count's gonna be 41 versus 62 in favor of GIF music. So Vortex needs to do something. Of course, having his pit mines is a huge boost. He has 1, 2, wherever it is. Well, the nomad thing, wherever they build it. Maybe a third one. Winnable. For which player? He's found another pit mine to target with his rams at the same time. Raiding up north, and Vortex says enough is enough. With an absolutely unrelenting raid started in the Dark Age. We saw some Dark Age Knights of the Templar action, and it was an absolutely fun game to cast for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this casted game. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel, give a thumbs up, and leave me a comment below on the video. It helps me with my traction for the channel, and I'm like 20 channel subscribers away from 25K, which is a huge milestone for my YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.